Ed, what are the implications then for President Biden's economic agenda? Are there any, or do you feel that the president has done most of the heavy lifting in terms of policy?
Yeah, so I think when you have a divided Congress where Republicans are in control of the House of Representatives, Democrats have control of the Senate, and Joe Biden's a Democrat, there wasn't going to be a whole ton of things that get done through the Congress. So most of the economic agenda was completed. You talked about the infrastructure bill, and that's going to take place over the next 5 years. This does put a lot of focus on the Federal Reserve. I've always felt since the financial crisis that a lot of the monetary policy decisions of the Federal Reserve were done because there was such dysfunction on the fiscal side. We were in a very unusual position over the last couple of years where there was some coordination between the fiscal and monetary, and arguably too much fiscal, with $8 trillion more spent over the last 3 years than is normally spent in the United States. And so I think the market will look at the Fed and say, will this give them more reason to kind of accelerate, or kind of maybe give them more reason to kind of pause on interest rates if we're returning to a dysfunctional fiscal environment, because it's pretty dysfunctional over the last 2 days in the House of Representatives? Maybe the Fed wants to be a little bit more cautious than they would have been, in a unified Democratic government or a unified Republican government because of that uncertainty.
Yeah, it's going to make their job exiting, I think, a lot harder as well for the Fed. On the fiscal side, though, I mean, the priorities are, and for the House, dysfunctional as it is right now, it raises a lot of questions down the road about whether or not they're going to be able to fulfill a basic obligation, which is keeping the government funded. One, what about the debt ceiling, though? That's going to be an issue later this year as well.
Yeah, so, when we have government funding debates and the government shuts down, it's not fun for the employees. There are some implications to the economy. It impacts consumer sentiment. So those are kind of on the edge type of issues. Full faith and credit of the United States government. This really hasn't been an issue since 2011, when the United States debt was downgraded because of the fiscal fights that were taking place. We could see a scenario where it's worse than that, because we have a group that shows you they don't care vote after vote whether or not there's chaos. And so it's a real question, would they be able to take hostage the debt limit? And we could question the full faith and credit of the United States government. We saw a fiscal mistake in England last year that caused real bond market implications. Will we see massive bond market implications in the United States if this group tries to hold it hostage? Or does the middle come together? Does the Democrats in the Senate, does Joe Biden in the White House, and the 213 Democrats in the House of Representatives, as long as they have 5 Republicans, that's a majority. So I think we'll have plenty of headlines, plenty of going up to the brink, some market volatility. But at the end of the day, it does seem as if the middle will hold, especially because Democrats control the Senate, and there is the Democrat in the White House. And ultimately, I don't think they're going to be able to hold it hostage long enough to actually cause a default. But there will be a major market debate about that later this year.